Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So I have this new project here. This is a Razor e200 electric scooter, and I've done a couple things that makes it way faster and way fun to ride versus the stock e200. So I made this video just to show you what I did, give you guys some ideas what you guys can do to mod yours. Anyway, stay tuned and enjoy the video. Okay, so the first thing that stands out the most is this rear battery stand. I wanted something that utilized these Ryobi 40-volt batteries. You can see the video I have up here about repairing any of these that are broken. So you can actually buy them really cheap and repair them, kind of revive them, and they're great. As you can see, I have quite a few of them and the stock charger. So anyway, I wanted something that was going to be modular. A lot of people build electric scooters and they have these crazy batteries that run off BMSs, and they just doesn't seem reliable to me. It doesn't seem easy to charge. So all I have to do is I just take the battery off and put it on the charger, and it's awesome. So I found these on Amazon and on eBay. The seller is on Amazon and eBay. Basically, it's a 3D printed Ryobi 40-volt adapter. You just take your battery and plug it in, and it clips right in. So these are only 2.6 amp hour batteries, so I wanted to parallel two of them together to get more battery life, longer run times. The wires from the battery come down and they connect right into the the speed controller of the scooter. So the two big black and red wires come out and go straight to the batteries. Super simple. So the batteries, I'd say, are the first major upgrade that I did. The next upgrade would be this motor here. So the e200 comes stock with a 200 watt motor. That's kind of why it has the e200 name. I bought this scooter used for 20 bucks, and I didn't know if the motor was fried or not. The electronics were fried, nothing worked. I wanted to swap out the motor, put new batteries on, get a new speed controller. So it's actually pretty affordable. It doesn't take much money. This is a 350 watt motor, and I'll have all the parts in the description below. But basically, this 350 watt motor has a ton of torque. It has a lot of top speed. I really like it. So I would definitely recommend this motor. It uses the same exact mounting system as the smaller motor, except for it is just a little bit longer. So there's a kickstand that goes right here that I had to grind off with a grinder. So yes, it doesn't have a kickstand anymore, but it has a ton more power with this bigger motor. Everything else is, it's plug and play. You bolt it up, chain goes on, everything. So pretty good upgrade. The next upgrade is this 800 watt 36 volt speed controller. So yeah, it's pretty cheap. It does get a little bit warm when you're riding it a bunch, but hey, it's lasted me probably 30 miles so far. I know that's not a ton, but I've just kind of finished building this, and 30 miles of riding, it's pretty good. So there's just a couple wire connections that I use. You can see that I don't use any of these here. I just use, I'll show you which ones. The big black and red are for the battery. So you hook positive, negative straight into there. The next two big wires are the motor. So the motor output is this blue and yellow wire that are thick. So then the motor comes in here, and I soldered it up. Whatever direction you want it to spin is how you hook it up. So if your wheel is spinning backwards when you give it throttle, you just swap the wires, and that's what I had to do. So, so on my model, red is on the blue line, and I've seen others where the red positive is the yellow, so I don't know if it matters, as long as your wheel's spinning the right way. So yeah, battery, motor, and throttle. So throttle is 3 cables, 3 wires in 1 cable. So basically you'll have a positive, negative, and signal. The blue is the signal. So when you get your throttle, like I would advise buying a aftermarket throttle that actually has a variance in throttle. The stock e200 is either an on or an off. And so it'll like go full throttle or not. And with the motor this strong, you don't want to have full throttle all the time. So basically, you buy a new throttle and you just wire it up to the specs that the seller provides you. So anyway, so 3 connections so far. We have the battery, the motor, and the throttle. I hooked those up and it wouldn't work. It was kind of frustrating. I was like, what did I do wrong? Well, apparently there's this... these 2 wires that are labeled, I think it said power or something. It was in Chinese and it had a little bit of English on it. You just have to jump these 2 wires, and this is the on and off switch basically for the scooter speed controller. So I just have these kind of jumbled up, soldered together, but hey, it works. Eventually I'm going to put a switch from the outside that you can turn that on and off with. I guess the last thing that I did buy was the throttle. And you can see it's just, you know, basic cheap throttle, eBay style. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention was this brake support here. Because the motor is so big, you can see it's right here, it's kind of in the way. I had to bend the brake out this way. So I just took some pliers and bent it out. It actually still works fine. So yeah, that actually wasn't an issue. And then I don't know if I ended up adjusting this, but if you look at your scooter, if you're going to do the same modification, just kind of line it up with where this is. It allows it to slide back and forth. So anyway, that's the brake there. Okay, let me go ahead and show you how it sounds and looks when I give it some throttle. One other cool note, if you look at the back of the batteries here, I can actually check the current status of the batteries by pushing the buttons. So then I know kind of my range. When I get down to one light, I better stop or my batteries are going to shut off. Okay, and hope you guys enjoyed that footage. Pretty fun. I was just kind of testing it out, didn't want to push it too hard. Just wanted to take a second here to conclude the video. There's a couple things I want to go over before I end the video. First thing is cost. Let me just go over the cost here. Basically, I first bought the scooter broken for $20. It just needed new batteries. So basically, instead of just putting new batteries in there, I wanted to mod it. So what I did is I bought all the components that I've already shown you. So the first thing that I bought was the speed controller, which was $13. All these parts are going to be in the description below. The throttle was $7. The motor was $45. And the battery adapters were $20 each. So that's $40 for the battery adapters. So a total cost of $125, which I feel is pretty good for what the scooter actually is. You can't even buy them new for that much. So let's talk about speed. So the stock e200s have a 200-watt motor, and they top out at 11 miles an hour. Some people say 12, but yeah, it's pretty hard to get there unless the batteries are fully charged. With my initial testing, this one actually goes 22 miles an hour, and it gets there pretty quick, has a lot of low-end torque, and going 22 miles an hour on this scooter, since it's kind of smaller wheels, smaller wheelbase, it's pretty fast. I would not, I don't like to go full speed. I kind of like to go around the 15 or 16 mile per hour mark. You get pretty good wind in your face, and you get around pretty quick. Let's talk about how difficult this build was. Everything excluding the actual battery frame that I built, so just the motor swap, the ESC swap, the throttle swap, those are really simple, and I would recommend anybody do that if they have one of these e200, e300 scooters. Just swap the motor out, swap the ESC, swap the throttle. You're going to get a lot more response, a lot more control, speed, and everything. You know, with these lithium-ion batteries, you just get a lot better performance than you do with lead acid. They're a lot lighter. So I'd recommend anybody try out lithium-ion batteries. There's a lot of different routes to go. I just chose to go with these Ryobi 40-volt batteries. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Stay tuned for more content. As you can see, I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. Just really want to get to that mark and appreciate all your support. Just like, comment if you have any questions about it, and again, thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.